Hello, you are watching my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Kamran. As here today, I've invited a guest to my video, and I want to discuss her life, her visions, her goals, and most importantly, her field. Hello and welcome. We are delighted to have Zinia Shah here today with us. Zinia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Kamran, to you for letting me be here. Thank you so much. It's too considerate.
All right, but before to start, could you please tell us what inspired you to pursue a career as a biochemist, microbiologist, teacher, book editor, and RJ as well? And definitely perhaps share a bit about your journey leading up to your current role. Over to you.
Of course. All right. So yeah, it seems a lot, but it's all very interrelated, to be honest. A microbiology and biochemistry because research has always been my passion. I've always been driven by, finding out new things using scientific methods, etc., in order to, just explore the world. And also then coming towards teaching. Teaching again, I have always found teachers with which or with whom I have been able to set a
Mhm,
connection through which I have learned a lot from them.
mhm.
And that is what basically, pushed me towards finding teaching as something which I would like to pursue. And I really enjoy teaching. And it's been 8 years now that I've been teaching O&A levels. So yeah, it's been a great journey. And other than that, then we come towards being an RJ. RJ is a recent endeavor. It's something new for me.
RJ is a
But the
separate field. Actually, I'm
yeah,
RJ as well. I have been doing radio since 2013 so
hmm,
far. So
hmm,
I know the curriculum and how the RJ engage the public, especially it's a
yeah,
very difficult task to engage those people you are not able to see,
hmm,
right? You are
exactly,
talking to those
exactly,
people who don't know about us. It's actually the connection through the voice, and it's a very strong
exactly.
connection. Whatever you
Yes,
are not share with anyone else, you can share with your listeners that with
hmm,
a topic, right?
true
So over
that,
to you.
true
Actually,
that.
I am RJ as well. So if I speak, then you will not be able to speak.
No, no, it's good. Keep on sharing. It's really good.
People will
Being an
think that they
RJ,
are
then
doing a combined show.
a conversation. It's totally fine. And I think RJ is, yes, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting field. The major attraction for me to become an RJ was basically that I was given a program to do in Urdu. So, coming from my background, I've done O&A levels. So, Urdu was something which we seldom focus on, right? No mean saying that Urdu is a substandard language or something. Urdu is a beautiful language, but I wasn't able to focus on it like in my mind. So this is the instance where everything has taken a 180 turn, and now I am not allowed to use English, only Urdu. And so yeah, the communication basically is getting better. So it's pushing me towards learning new languages, etc. And lastly, about book editing. Well, book editing was something because of my English language. This was an opportunity which was provided to me by Khalid Musa, and I really
Mhm.
enjoyed doing that for him. The book that I edited was Umar Brigade Ballot. It's an astounding book. So yeah, it was driven by my interest. I have been an ardent reader. People often get gifts from their fathers, like girls get gifts from their fathers. They might get money, or I don't know. The only kind of gifts that I've been getting are books, like since forever. So there is a deep connection between books and me. So that is the story behind that. And lastly, I'm also a poet. That is one thing that I don't share. But you might have read that particular poetry of mine. I do put it up sometimes. So yeah, that also branches from there.
Hmm.
So this is
My younger
my
sister is also RJ,
story.
and she
Ah, nice.
she has won the Pakistan Best RJ award from Islamabad 2 times in Pakistan.
Mashallah.
So, when did you find yourself, senior, that there is an RJ inside you?
But basically,
I don't
this
know,
was
it's a
a very
relevant question or
accidental
not.
discovery. No,
So,
it's
really,
a
I
good
want to know
question.
that.
This is basically a very funny story. It was an accidental discovery. I was actually called at primary and secondary healthcare department for an interview myself as a microbiologist. So I went there as a guest. And that is when after the show, after the recording, the producer went like, I see quality in your voice and you should be sitting in this position. And I was like, I'll think about it, but I might
Mm,
not be able to because your entire show is in Urdu and stuff. That is something that I've, discussed before. So, yeah. So that was when he was a bit insisting. His name is Tanveer Malik. He's an amazing person. So he was the one who gave me this opportunity and brought me here. And I'm very much humbled by him. It's an honor.
mm.
So this is how I
So,
basically became an
do you enjoy
artist.
your radio show?
I love my radio shows, and I just hope that my listeners also love it the same way. So yeah,
A radio RJ just need a feedback, and when he gets the
yes,
feedback from the people,
yes,
he or she actually don't know about them, and they actually don't know
yeah,
about us,
true,
right?
true.
So feedback is matter a lot for a RJ, especially while he or she was doing a radio program, right? But there is another thing I want to share with you that we have to face criticism as well, right? So how do you handle that? Especially while
There
you are doing
hasn't
a
been,
program and someone comes to you
yeah,
and he is starting criticizing you. So definitely, RJ depends on her mood, right? So how do you manage all the things when you find
but,
yourself in difficulty?
but about that, I've been a bit lucky, call it beginner's luck. I haven't faced such criticism yet. People are happy with me. My employers are happy with me till now. Those who are listening to my program, like my family and my friends, who have
Hmm.
given me a positive feedback. But yes, there are some points of improvement that they shared with me. Like, for example,
Hmm.
I move my chair a lot.
Hmm.
There are some instances in FM when, there's
Hmm.
also a visual broadcast time there is an interview or something.
Hmm.
So I move my chair a lot, and sometimes I am just, I don't know where to stop talking. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So these are some points where my friends and my family, they keep on telling me that this is where you have to improve. So I guess, yeah, constructive criticism helps.
Oh,
That
I
is the
see.
only
Yeah.
kind of criticism I've
Let's
got.
move
Yeah,
on. Let's change your mood.
of course.
Can you describe a significant research project you worked on as a biochemist? What were the main findings and how did they contribute to the field?
Okay, so Kamran, this is something which I am working on getting published. My research was basically, be it as a biochemist or be it as a microbiologist, these disciplines, they are interconnected with each other, right?
Hmm.
So mine was basically based on finding a particular phytochemical. These are chemicals which are taken from plants, extracted from plants, and these can be used otherwise, such as an antimicrobial, an antibacterial substance, antifungal substance, etc. So mine was basically extracting such a chemical from a plant which is a very regular spice. You might know it. It's known as Banya Katai in our local lingo. Otherwise, scientifically, it's known as lithium. So my research, the new thing which my research basically discovered or brought forward was
Hmm.
that this was the first reported study where antimicrobial activity against a particular bacteria, Pseudomonas,
Hmm.
was reported for the very first time.
Hmm.
This work hasn't been done anywhere. So
Hmm.
Pseudomonas is one of the infectious bacteria, right? So this finding is significant, and yes, the publication is on its way.
Hmm. All right. All right. As a microbiologist, what techniques do you commonly for isolating and identifying microorganisms? Can you share an example of challenging you successfully identified?
Yes. Okay. So I haven't been isolating or identifying microorganisms in specific. But
Hmm.
if we are to talk in general terms, there are different, the way different humans are different from each other,
Hmm.
right? That is because our
Hmm.
physiological makeup is different, genetic makeup is different, etc. So it's the same way how different microorganisms, bacterial cells, fungal or viral cells, they are different from each other as well, be
Hmm.
it genetic or be it physiological or morphologically. So these characteristics, these are called differential characteristics. We can exploit these different characteristics. And one challenging I won't say challenging, but one microorganism which actually does catch my interest is actinomycetes. It, it is actually a bacteria, but it looks like a fungal cell, a fungus. So it takes shape of a fungus. So it has this guys, and that is actually what interests me. That I think is a challenge to identify something which looks like a fungus but is a bacterial cell. So yeah,
All right. Right now, I am gonna ask you a very tough question. You ready for that?
of course.
Actually, you are a
I
female,
hope so.
Zinia. The question is a very on a serious note. You are a female. In this society, you have to face a lot of challenges. I mean, female have to face a lot of challenges in this society, whether they are working in any office, they are working in media field, right? There is an issue of harassment issues, right? Domination problems. So, did you face these challenges, and how did you get into this? How do you overcome? I'm
That's
sorry.
I think it's
How did you overcome on these
how did
challenges?
I overcome
Definitely,
these?
you had to face these challenges. So I want to know that for the
Of
people, for
course.
the female who are ready to working, who are ready to join radio, who are ready to join departments. So, what is your take on it?
My take on this would be that it's actually a very natural phenomena that I won't stereotype male or female in this. Anyone who is
Natural
naive,
phenomena, you said.
anyone, it's a natural phenomenon, yes. How I'm explaining it. It's natural because, once a person is not experienced, a person who is naive, who's new in any industry, has to face these challenges. There would
Hmm.
always be people who will be ready to exploit that naive kid, right? So these are some things which everyone faces, be it a girl or be it a boy. Being a female, these challenges seem to be much serious because of obvious reasons, right? So yeah, how to overcome it? Um, what I have learned from my journey is that one has to make oneself so strong internally and psychologically that one should be confident in one's own capacities. This is what I bring to the table, and this is what I'm sure of that I can bring to the table. So, like, the other person cannot make me think or convince me that I am lacking something. That is the point where the other person can take advantage of me and, throw me into a mental hole or something. So that is one thing. Confidence and a continuous struggle and improvement of one's own self, of one's own capacity. That is the thing which will make you so resilient and so strong as a person yourself that other people will not bother to actually come and bother you. So I think yeah, this kind of an apparel, this kind of a personality or an aura, if you can pick it, people adjust
What is
themselves
your aura?
regarding it. My aura, I guess I'm
Strict,
what people tell me.
strict or friendly?
My students say I'm strict. I don't
I've
find myself
observed
to be
your
strict. I don't know
personality
why.
while I was trying
Hmm.
to invite you for this interview. So you seem to be very professional. So if a person
Okay.
is a professional, so he can eliminate all the problems around her or him. What do you what do you
True
say?
that. True that.
Is it true?
True that. I totally agree. I totally agree. I second that. And this is
I
something which
think this
I
is your
observe.
aura that you are very professional. You talk in a professional way.
Uh,
You only talk when there is a commitment or anything
Reason to
else.
talk.
So this is actually the good thing in you, which I observed in a week.
I am honored for that. I feel glad. And this is something which I also, talk about and ask my colleagues to actually, start polishing in their
Hmm.
personalities because this is one thing which can help them to go ahead in life.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
That's
Thank you,
great.
Kamran, for that. I take it as a compliment.
Hmm. Zinia, as an RJ, how do you
Yeah.
prepare for your shows to ensure they are both entertaining and informative?
Oh yes, that's the challenge. That's the challenge because my own personality is a bit sober and serious. So because of that, humor is something which seldom comes to me. So yeah, but that is something which I have to add to my script So this is where my producer actually comes in, and he helps me a lot with all my scripts. He goes through them thoroughly, and he's the one who's adding different points and to make it a bit engaging. And other than that, informative, because I'm an ardent reader, and I really, if there is anything present, around me which can be read, I'll read it. Be it someone's
Hmm.
note or whatsoever. I just go through it. So that basically helps me to, bring in a lot of information. So that is how I can actually, put it onto the paper for other people. So this is one.
Hmm. That's great. And most importantly, can you share an instance where your scientific background enhanced a radio segment? It's a difficult one. It's a
Yes,
bouncer.
yes, yes. The radio segments which I am doing is basically based on health issues, infections, different infections. For example, dengue. For example, polio virus infections, which are taking us all over in Pakistan population, and also different stuff like that. So all of these have everything to do with my domain, right? So there's a lot of space for me to actually, bring out what I know about my things and actually, employ that into my skill. So this is an interesting.
Hmm. You mentioned in your profile you are a book writer as well. Why is that?
So basically, I was, the time when I wrote it, that was when I was about to publish a book of mine. And then I did not go for that
Hmm.
because I found that there were some loopholes in it, as in there were some messages that I would not want people to get, as in the kind of message that I want them to leave with after reading book. I don't want it to be. I want it to be a fiction book, yes, but I don't want it to be something from which they can learn something. I don't want them to learn. People take every sort of message from something that you write. So I really wanted it to be so perfect in all aspects that I stopped it there, and I was like, no way. I can wait a few years and then get it published. So yes, that there is a book that I'm working on. That's the only thing that I can tell right now.
Linear, don't you think that people are not willing to reading books nowadays because we are phone addicted, mobile phone addicted, and we don't need knowledge. We just need shortcuts. Is it true?
Yes, Kamra, that is the unfortunate reality of today. Basically, this is also something which I often talk about, and that is the lack of normative thought culture in our society. People are more into something which brings TRP. You already know the term, right? So people are tilted towards it, and they seldom ever care about what quality content they are consuming. So I think yes, this is something because the awareness of such is lacking. There are educational institutions even. I've been a teacher, and I know I'm not complaining though, but this is a place or this is something which needs to be worked on. And I think that such kind of awareness, where does a person spend their time? What kind of content a person consumes kind of shapes the entire personality of that person. So I think all of this awareness, this counseling is lacking at the very base level. So this is why all of these challenges, which you have just mentioned now, are erupting in our society. And yes, this should be worked on. So one thing that we can do individually for it is that we can make ourselves a role model for others so that they can follow. So yeah, that's one thing that I can say about that.
Hmm. Do you consider yourself a positive soul?
I think that depends
It's a very
on
personal question
myself as a positive soul.
because
I
I'm getting
try
positive
to.
positive vibes from your side while I'm talking to you.
Okay. Okay, I try to. No, it's not. No one's 100% positive. No one's
I'm not
100%
talking about the
positive.
100%. Actually, I'm talking
Yeah.
about the nature. Uh, I am the optimistic person. I'm not sure
Okay.
that I am 100% optimistic person. There are
Yeah.
a lot of situations where I have to be flexible. If my mother
Of
calls
course.
me and we have a conversation and we have uh, disagreement on some issues, I have. So definitely at that time I was not
You
optimistic.
can get negative. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you consider yourself a positive soul in your daily routine matters?
I consider myself to be someone who reflects what comes from the other side. More like if there's something negative coming towards me, I'll avoid that. I'll ignore that. I'll be like, block this thing out. But if there is positivity, that is 100% welcome from my side. And so I think I can mirror stuff.
All right. What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I'm a very boring person. You won't
Foodie?
like it. No, I read books.
Okay.
I read books for fun. Yeah. That
I
is
heard if
something
you are a
that brings
foodie
me-
person, then you have to invite me because I am a foodie person as well.
I can invite you otherwise as well. We can share a meal or something. That's I don't need to be a foodie for that. Yeah. But yeah, for fun, I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you plan your life, Zinia?
How do I plan my life? How do I plan my life? This might seem like something made up, but it's not made up. A few years back, if you might have asked me how do I plan my life, I would be like, there is no plan to life. But now I have plan A, I have plan B, C, D, E. So like I really like to keep everything in check, because of my hectic routine, because different domains are there at the very same time. So I'm simultaneously working on different projects. So if there is no plan in my life, I'm useless. So I have to keep daily tasks in my schedule, and then weekly tasks, and then yearly tasks. So I do that. I'm that kind of a person.
Do you
That
believe
boring
in
kind
goal
of
setting?
nerd kind of a person. I believe 100% in goal setting.
100%.
There are no goals.
How many
in
goals
life,
did you achieve
100%.
so far?
Okay, for the last year, I was going through 2023. That was when I was basically willing for increasing my publication number. For instance, so I have now 9 publications, international publications, of which 2 of them are internationally published book chapters. So yeah, that was one thing that I achieved. Secondly, I wanted to teach at LGS. Yes, that was my goal. It might seem petty, but that was my goal. And so I taught at LGS. I got that position and something like that. That was my goal, which came true. And then also there's other things like I wanted to do my own earnings and then be able to buy myself my own things. That was my goal. I didn't want to rely on my parents or my family or my capacity or कुछ ले लिया
How do you set
है
goals? I mean, your goals on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, or yearly basis?
all of them
All of them. Sometimes you make goals on short-term period. Sometimes you use that for long-term
there
period,
are
right?
short-term goals which lead to long-term. So all of that is interconnected. So I make short-term goals, yes, like these are the tasks which I'm going to get done with in this day. And then those are projected over the week, and those are projected over the month, and then the year. So every I have a very scientific approach to life, you could say.
Did you ever
Coming
feel?
from my background.
Did you ever feel that you missed something
In life, overall,
overall from your life that
or
you missed something in the life? You always wanted to be
something
like
like that.
that, but you are not able to get that opportunity so far, or you are thinking something, anything missed from your
Yeah.
life.
Yes, there are things which are missing from my life, and that is the kind of productive person I want to be in the society. That is, I don't think I'm there at the moment. I'm still progressing towards it. So that is one thing that I'm missing right now. Other than that, I don't think that there is anything that I miss. Other than yes, sometimes I want to be left alone so that I can give time to my own self. I can rejuvenate. So that sometimes lacks out, and that is sometimes what I miss.
Did you ever doubt your skills?
Yes, in the very beginning, I used to doubt myself. I used to doubt myself that I might not be able to do things. So there's no point in actually putting effort into things. But that was when, that is how I was basically, I got interested in becoming a teacher, because there were teachers who actually propelled me towards, building confidence around myself, and then believing in my capacities. So yeah, that there was a time.
All right. Most important question. How do you handle people you don't like?
How do I handle people I don't
Because
like?
life we can't like everyone in life.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes I also get tagged to be a cold-hearted person. It's not like I don't like people, but it's there is this concept which is called democracy. You might have heard it. Democracy is like you don't hate the person, but you hate the act that the person is doing, right? So yeah, this instance has been happening a lot of times. Like they've been my friends. I don't hate them, but I hate that they have they dropped their dreams, and they were like, okay, we'll now just adjust into the adjust into family life, etc., and we're not pursuing our dreams, etc., we're not going after career goals, etc. So these are things which actually do irritate me, and when such happens, I just avoid conversations and avoid any triggering point which might be. So yeah, that is my defense mechanism. I start avoiding
Hmm. Zinia, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a wonderful having you here and definitely learning from your experiences. But before to wrap up, is there anything you would like to share with our audience or any message?
Of course, there is something that I have witnessed around me a lot, and that is basically people are living their lives without actually, having anything in their mind that what they are to become or what they are to go after. So this kind of a thought culture is lacking, and that's on a very massive scale. So for everyone, basically, I just want to give out this message that please start thinking about yourselves, make yourself project of your life, and start working on yourself. There's this one, poem of Rudyard Kipling. I just give a small clip out of it, and that is where he says that he never wasted nor a tree, neither a tree nor a leaf. And you think he would squander souls. So this is basically coming from that God has made you for a purpose. To find out that purpose and go after that. This is the only message that I.
Wow, lovely advice you have given to me. Thank you so much. Any message or any suggestion for me?
For you, Kamran, you are doing an excellent job. I went through your YouTube videos. You are bringing a different side, a different perspective in front of people. Like you're bringing the feminine side in front, right? The feminine struggle and stuff like that. So that is actually an amazing work. This is something which needs to be brought in front of people. So the kind of gender bias there exists in our society. This is something which needs work on in every walk of life. So yes, amazing work, Amran, and I wish you success in all your future endeavors as well. Keep on doing.
Thank you so much once again, Zinia. Have a blessed day. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
this interview with you, and I've learned a lot of new things from your
Okay.
side. Especially, you are very motivated person. So I will definitely apply on this my life. That how can I become motivated every time or everywhere? Because
I'll be happy.
motivation is a fuel, like a blood. We don't know that.
Yes,
If we are motivated, we can do everything, whatever we want in the life. And if we are not motivated, if we have skills and not motivated, so we will cannot be at that
that's a base.
place where we wanted to be or thought about that, right? Do you
True.
want to add something in it?
Very true. Thank you so much. Kamran, about this motivation thing that you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, of course, of course, of course. As I said before, people should come up with plans. People should, treat themselves as something. Okay, can I add this one thing which I think is a bit longer than I actually, thought it would be, but just let me have these 2 minutes. Um, People often think that it's very selfish to think about one's own self first and then think about others. But I think that it's very much important that you think of yourself first in order to make yourself perfect or groom yourself in a way that you can be useful or beneficial to others around. So when people say that no, this is a very selfish perspective to put yourself first, I think no, if you're putting yourself first for the better good, do that. So this is one thing that I got.
Digna, thank you so much once again. Have a blessed day. Take care.
Thank you so much,
Allah
Ramdan.
Hafiz.
Thank you
Allah
so very much. Allah Hafiz.